crosses my mind a lot when I'm celebrating Mass and doing the Eucharistic prayer. So, you say those prayers over and over again for 27 years. Certain things kind of jump out at you or just become more meaningful with time. And one of those is our prayer for our bishop and for the Pope. Every one of the Eucharistic prayers mentions our unity with our bishop and with the Pope. And that can get right past us. But I think it's very important. And if you listen to the first reading today especially, but really all of the scriptures, especially John 17, talk about unity, the importance of unity. So the readings also often say the community of believers were of one mind and one heart. That meant they really tried to believe the same thing, to hold to the same truth in love. That they were bonded together both by their belief in the proclamation of the gospel, but also in their love for one another. And those two things have to go hand in hand for it to be authentically church. So it's through our unity with our bishop and through him, our unity with all of the bishops around the world, led of course by the universal pastor, the Pope, that assures us that we are the church and that the Holy Spirit is actively flowing through us, and that rheostat, the more there is that unity of mind and heart, the energy, the life, and the Spirit are blowing among us. If I'm not in union with our bishop, I'm establishing the church of Father Clint. If you think about that for a second. If I think that somehow my way of thinking is right and Cardinal DiNardo's way of thinking is wrong, and I decide to depart from something that he has instructed for the local church, I'm establishing the Church of Father Clint. Who do I think I am? We have to have a certain humility to be in unity. For us to be in unity, we have to, in some ways, no matter how firmly we believe in one thing or another, we have to have that humility that keeps us united. And for me as a priest, there's a lot of times I have opinions myself, okay? But to the extent that I don't follow the directives of the bishop or of the universal church, I am leading you astray as well. And I reap condemnation upon myself. So we have to be very careful. And if you see me ever doing anything or saying something that's against what our bishop says or Cardinal DiNardo, tell me. I might need to be corrected or challenged, okay? Or we may have to figure out if I have misread something. But I will never knowingly break union with our bishop. I think we as the faithful should practice something similar. So I said humility and truth have to reside together. Have you ever heard someone, I know we all have, someone who is so vociferous in their opinion and almost in an arrogant way that you just distrust them because there's not even a hint of humility? I think when we see humility in the expression of someone's opinion, we have a much greater sense that they're on the right track. But the less humility is expressed, the more we should question whether or not the Spirit is really in them. So I have a great example of this, at least in my life. When we were in the seminary, it wasn't uncommon. In fact, it was very common for seminarians to say, well, I don't agree with Karl Rahner on this point, or a noted theologian, or, well, our professor, I think, is wrong on X, Y, or Z. Here's a guy who's just starting to study theology and philosophy, and he's already taking issue with someone who spent their life studying theology. We had very little humility. As soon as we thought one thing, we thought we knew everything, right? And it's the same way with sports fans, right? Sports fans think they know much more than the coach knows, right? It's kind of hilarious. But just to begin to think how much sports fans think that they're smarter than everybody else when it comes to what the team should do. What I'm not saying is that the faithful or priest can't have opinions, or even that they can't express those opinions. We just have to be careful that we do that with humility, with respect, and with love. Because without unity of mind and heart, we don't have church. We might as well all go home. Without unity of mind and heart, there's no Holy Spirit, and everything is just a facade. That is of preeminent importance.